Hello YouTube friends. So it's been a strange week at the small holding. The sky has been moody and full of heavy clouds, promising rain that has just not come. So I've been spending time going back and forth with watering cans, trying to keep the babies I planted in the field alive. The May blossom is starting to come into bloom on the hawthorn trees, and all the dandelions have gone to seed. And this beautiful plant that some of you helped me identify last week as perennial cornflower is now in full bloom and being enjoyed by the bees. And the bare root gooseberries that I planted are now creating tiny fruits. But I think I'm going to take these off in the first season so that the roots have a better chance of developing. Oh, my glasses are all misted up. So, I am planting roses this morning. These are roses that I bought a couple of months ago, and I was planning on planting them in the field that's on the other side of this hedgerow here. But part of that is a triple SI, and I'm still waiting for Natural Resources to give me permission to do that. And it's been 2 months now that I've been waiting, and now they want to come and do a visit and da-da-da-da-da. So I don't know when I'm ever going to hear back from them. So I've decided to plant them in this field instead. So I've spent the morning cutting the grass, which doesn't sound like a big thing, but it actually took me ages because I had to start at the highest level and then go down in increments, 4 different cutting heights, because otherwise the lawnmower just kept getting jammed up. So anyway, let me show you what I've done. So you see I've cut these 2 beds in the grass, and the idea is I'll plant these roses and then I'm just going to cover the rest of it with cardboard and wood chips so that all the grass dies off, and then eventually I'll be able to plant medicinal herbs around the roses. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to when this is done. So I'm going to get planting now, and then I'll catch you in a little while once I've made some progress. It's an hour and a half later and I've done 2 bushes. So I had 2 bare root ones which I bought recently. They're called Apothecary Rose. Oh, couldn't resist. So I've planted those. It's really strange because the instructions, I got them from, is it David Austin, that famous rose company? Anyway, I got them from there, and it says to plant them so that the crown, you know, like where all the branches come out, is below the surface of the soil, which I've never seen before. So yeah, I did that. The soil is just so full of rocks, it's really difficult to work it. But anyway, it's 1:30. Well, it's after 1:30, so I'm going to go inside and make some lunch, and then I'll come and see how many else I get done. Honestly, I was hoping to get all of these roses planted and do some other jobs today, but I don't know if that's going to happen. And look at the sky. Look how moody it is. Look at it. We're not forecast for rain today, but I'm thinking it might happen. There have been a couple of just little single drops here and there, like the spitting, but anyway. It's so different out here now, you know, everything, you see it's all greening up now. It just feels very, very different. All right, I've done all the ones on this side. So that was the bare root and the 4 ones that were in pots. And then on this side, I've done the first one, and there are 4 more left. But I need to take a break because the sun is just blaring down on me, and I can feel my forehead burning. So I'm going to go inside, have a cup of tea, get my sun hat, come back out. Okay, they're all in the ground. I'm so happy. So happy. I just need to go and get some water because it's a very, very warm day now. It started off really moody and I thought the heavens were going to open, but it didn't. So I need to get some water them in. I can't tell you how happy I am, honestly, to get this job done. Oh. the next day and I'm just giving the roses another watering in. I'd really love to spend some more time today establishing these new beds, but I really need to give this comfrey some attention. So when I had my allotment before we moved here, I had a large bed full of comfrey. So I dug some of them up and brought them with me, and they've been sitting in this pot for over 2 years now, quite miserable, but multiplying. So I'm just going to divide them all up and start planting them around in the field where I'm going to be growing all the edibles. So I've started to plant some of the bigger ones directly into the field, but there were lots of smaller root pieces that were just breaking off with a leaf attached. So I'm going to plant all of those up into smaller pots and nurture them a little bit before planting them out. But I'm really happy that there are going to be quite a lot of divisions that I can establish into new plants. After planting them and watering them in, I'm just surrounding them with a mulch of cut grass, because this will help the plant to establish by reducing the competition from the grass surrounding it. The other thing I need to get on top of is this polytunnel. So since I marked out all the beds, I haven't been in here. And yeah, as you can see, there's just a carpet of weeds covering everything. But I've got these tomato plants that I really want to get into the ground. So all of my tomato seeds failed, so I had to do a re-sowing, and some of those have germinated. But they're just tiny little plants, so in the end I succumbed and I bought 4 plants from one of my local garden centres. So I want to get these into the ground so they can start romping away. There is so much couch grass all over this polytunnel, so I'm just starting by digging those out. And then I just dig holes and I fill them with water. And the idea behind this is that there's moisture down under the surface of the soil rather than on the surface, so that once you plant the tomato plants, their roots go down looking for moisture rather than staying up at the surface, which hopefully in the future means that I don't have to water as much once these plants are established. It's been 5 minutes and the hole is still half full of water. This clay soil really doesn't let the water sink in very fast. Before you say anything about all the weeds, yes, I will be weeding this area. I just want to get the plants in the ground for now, and then I'll sort the weeding out later. For the moment, they're just a nice little bit of ground cover. I also need to plant some of my beans out. So I sowed these beans, and they were beans that I had saved from my allotment, so they're over 3 years old now. I didn't have high hopes, but I was really delighted that with the exception of one variety, they all had almost 100% germination. I'm planting a bush variety of borlotti beans, so they won't need any support or anything like that. Once those were all planted, I headed back outside. So at the moment I'm right at the back of the field where I grow all the edibles. And there's a lot of bracken at the back of this field. So bracken is really useful for certain varieties of moths. And I don't want to eradicate it completely, but I don't want it in the food field. Bracken spores are actually carcinogenic. And yeah, I just prefer not to have them where I'm growing my food. In this area I planted both of my small leaved lime trees, and they look really, really dry and they haven't come into leaf yet. So I'm going to give them a water, and one of them I also need to move. So I think I mentioned this in one of the other videos. I think the place where I've planted it is too close to where I might potentially dig a pond one day. So I'm going to move that. I'm going to dig it up and plant it somewhere where its roots won't interfere with the pond. I also need to mulch both of these trees, so when I planted them both I didn't do my usual carpet of wood chip and grass halo. Oh, I'm exhausted. Yolon, if you're watching, these are the bottles of rainwater that I filled up for you. I'm using them to water these trees now. I'm just going to get on with mulching the other tree now. And then after that, I think it's time for sit down, cup of tea, feet up, and relax for the evening. I leave you with this little video of a bee that I found on my banister. I'll catch you again next time.